We're here for Sound on Sound at the Winter NAMM Show 2015 on the Roger Linn booth. So, Roger, the Linnstrument, what's it all about? It looks a bit unusual.
Well, thank you. Well, it's a what it is in brief. It's a kind of a replacement, an expressive replacement for a MIDI keyboard. It just basically is a MIDI controller, putting out MIDI information just like any MIDI controller. But the two major differences: number one, it responds to 3 dimensions of your finger movement for a great deal of expressiveness that you don't get out of a MIDI keyboard, like pressure, pitch, and timbre. And that's pressure, x-axis, and y-axis. But the other thing too is that instead of having the notes laid out like a piano keyboard, which doesn't really work for a lot of the gestures that you can do on this instrument, it's laid out like any stringed instrument, which is actually like a grid. So it's just a number of rows of chromatic notes, and the lights light up the white keys.
So what's the pitch difference between each row then?
Well, they're just like rows. Right now it's kind of like a guitar with 8 strings. You've got, each row is chromatics, and then the lights tell you where the naturals are.
So then you've got the blues being
the blues are
octaves.
the C within each octave, yeah.
Okay, right, I
And then
see.
the intervals for the strings you can set however you want. You can tune it like a guitar, you can do it like a cello or a violin, or I like to do it with all 4s, like the low 4 strings of a guitar, because I think that works out very well. The reason I didn't lay out the notes like a piano is you can't do these sort of slides. You'd have to go, for example, between C and E on a piano keyboard, you have to do sort of a zigzag motion. So it's counterproductive. So I chose the metaphor of a stringed instrument.
So when you do that, when you do the pitch bending, how is that actually doing it? Because it's working with normal instruments within Logic. Is it pitch bend information that it's transferring?
It just sends normal pitch bend. The synthesizer doesn't know whether I'm moving a pitch bend wheel on a keyboard or sliding my finger on an instrument. It's the same stuff.
You can maintain a single note from here to all the way up?
Yes.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
Depending on your pitch bend range, of course.
Okay, right. So that's what controls the smoothness, I guess.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I can actually get polyphonic pitch bends on this by sending each note over its own MIDI channel, which Logic and a number of other synthesizers respond to. And I'll show you about that.
Great. Okay, so let's have a quick demo then of
Yeah.
what it does.
Okay, so Linnstrument recognizes 3 dimensions of touch. So I'll show you on this saxophone sound, which is provided by the synthesizer sample modeling, which is very cool. So I've got pressure, I've got pitch, and I've got timbre. And then here's a violin. Do that over here. Here's a upright bass. And here is a pedal steel guitar. Here's a slide guitar, blues slide guitar. And here's blues harmonica. This is over here. That's a good sampling of it anyway.
So Roger, that's a cool little demo. What was the impetus to actually make this thing then?
Well, I noticed that all electronic music was being made with on-off switches, which is essentially what a MIDI keyboard is. They're just a bunch of on-off switches. And you've got a little pitch bend wheel and mod wheel, but they don't really work very well for capturing the nuances that someone would get from playing a guitar or a saxophone or a violin. So I wanted to make something expressive. And so inspired by people like Don Buchla or Lippelt Hawken with the Continuum, or Roland Lamb with the Seaboard,
yeah.
or the Eigenharp, John Lambert, or some of the others. I wanted to do something that was expressive and a practical keyboard. And so it took me about 4 years to design the sensor, but I finally got it right, and it's a lot of fun to play.
So how much is it going to cost then, and when will it be shipping?
Well, the street price in the U.S. is $1,500, and actually it's been shipping for 2 months. I've sold about 70 of them so far,
Oh, wow.
and you can buy them direct from my website, rogerlinn.com. And I haven't shipped any to outside of the U.S. yet, but I'll be doing that within the next month or two. So it should be appearing in stores pretty soon.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Roger.
Thanks.